My name is Steve Curl. I'm a watercolorist. I work out of Palo Alto, California, where I teach. I will show you a little bit of my work first and then show you how I use the supplies properly. It's important to see these, not to show you as to how good or bad I am, but mostly to show you that the beauty of watercolor is in its transparency. That's what makes watercolor a particularly beautiful medium, is that you're painting with a liquid and light passes through the layers of color that you put down. In watercolor painting, you use white paint to go in and go, ooh, I'd like to put a little bird up here in the sky that I forgot. And you use that because white paint by its very nature is opaque. It's white out. So mostly the whites that you see in this painting are the white of the paper, which is where I left the paper as it was, so I paint around that. Okay, so that should just give you an idea of the way you want to approach watercolor painting. Okay, so let's cover the supplies a little bit. What I'm using here is a box of paints, obviously water. This is the magic stuff here. This is the stuff that you need to learn how to work with in order to work with watercolor painting effectively. This was initially a blank palette I picked up at an art store, and I bought my paints in tubes and squeezed out all the colors that I wanted in my own palette. You can buy paints like that, or you can buy them in a pre-measured kit where these are all cakes and they already come pre-measured. I like the freedom to choose my own colors, so I laid those out. The important thing is that I fill up my wells with color, so I create what I call a working palette. Brushes. Nice watercolor brushes are designed to hold liquid. So just a note on supplies overall is you don't need to buy the most expensive stuff, but what you need to do is buy good quality gear so that you have a good experience. Brushes are designed to hold water. That's what a watercolor brush does. Next thing you want to have is watercolor paper. Okay, it's essential to have watercolor paper, not notebook paper, not sketch paper, because what happens when you put water on paper, it disintegrates, or it buckles, or it changes the surface. So most stores, art stores, will sell what I call a good pad or block or single sheets of watercolor paper. The thing you want to look for when you're buying a good brush are three things. You want to see its ability to carry a charge, ability to carry water. You also want to look for what I call its resilience or its snap. So when you place it on the paper, does it return to its shape? And the third thing you want to look for is its ability to come to a point. And you can buy it, as I just mentioned, three ways. You can buy watercolor paper in single sheets, or you can buy it in a pad, or you can buy it in what we call this high quality pad, it's called a block. And all a block is a pad of paper that is sealed on all sides. Once I wet the brush, what I want my brush to be able to do is I can take liquid like this, mix up color. I can get a nice fluid wash with this brush, get good coverage, and it'll go for a long time, sable ones especially. And then a well-made brush comes to a razor point, so I can get a line like that with a brush. And again, sables are handmade, hand-tied, hand-shaped, so you're paying for craftsmanship.